And D-Man, Baker Mayfield, we go up against him this weekend. And your boy Nick Wright has some things to say about Baker and Brock Purdy. Let's check this out and we'll talk about it.
The 49ers are 11.5-point favorites against Baker. Purdy looking to stay on track after that bumpy 3-game stretch. Bake Show in the Bucks hanging around the top of the NFC South. Nick, do you want to go first here?
Please.
Chances Baker outplays Purdy.
I mean, he has for the last month. Now, in this specific game, it's going to be tough because you have Young and Bosa against that Bucks O-line. But, I mean, so the last month, Brew rolled his eyes. We can just show it to you. The last 4 games, you know what I mean? We're 10 games into the season. Last month, Baker's been better with worse supporting cast and, under harder circumstances, all those things. I didn't even put quarterback wins up there because that's not my thing, but they're even on that. And so, listen, here's what I know, Greg Jennings. The Niners would be a more viable Super Bowl contender with Baker Mayfield.
Here we go.
And the Bucks would be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes with Purdy. That I know. Now this week, do I think Baker is going to be able to overcome all the structural disadvantages the Bucks have compared to the Niners? I don't know. If anyone can, it's Baker. But it's going to be a very hard road to hoe. But I know if you switch quarterbacks, one team be better and one team be worse. And it's the Niners be better and the Bucks would be worse.
Enough of the absurdities.
What?
All right, man. Hearing that, pretty much saying that Baker's a better quarterback, saying that if Brock Purdy was with the Buccaneers, they'd be competing for Caleb Williams for the #1 pick. What do you think about this, man?
First off, Nick Wright, I think he's hilarious. I don't agree with anything he says, but I think he's good TV. Like when you were watching him, I think it's like entertaining. You always get a laugh at it. But man, that's just a wild take. And you can tell it's one of those takes where he just wants people to like overreact and get some viewerships. Let's be honest. What pick was Baker Mayfield?
The first, right?
#1 pick.
#1.
If he was that good, would we be having this discussion? Would this be his third or fourth team playing in the NFL? If he was that good, if he was the chosen one, like facts matter. Like this guy hasn't lived up to his #1 spot, man. And you saw like with Cleveland, he got his head coach fired and then started talking shit about him. Granted, like he's not the best head coach, but still like he did his job, Also, he lost the locker room. He got, if I'm not mistaken, Sam Darnold outplayed him, right? At the Panthers. He had the starting job, lost the locker room there. And right now with Tampa Bay, he's doing good because, not to mention he was with the Rams, but that was a small stint though.
Yeah.
He was only there for a couple games, and that's because Stafford was hurt. But going to Tampa, he's got some weapons, man. He's got Mike Evans, Godwin, White, the running back. He's been playing elite. But what's going to happen when he doesn't have that, man? And what's going to happen when his team's not rolling? It's going to be the same thing, just like what happened with Cleveland, man. When they needed him to make some plays, he's just not that guy. And then I don't want to go like too in the depth. Like I'm not going to say like he's too small or like he doesn't have the accuracy. Like, like Colin Cowherd likes to like talk about that. But for me, man, it's just, I think he's good enough to be a starter. Maybe like if a starting quarterback gets hurt, he's a solid backup. But man, if he was really better than Brock Purdy, man, we wouldn't even be having this freaking discussion, man, because the guy was the #1 pick overall, and he hasn't even done anything. I think he's won like one playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
With Cleveland, like they went to the playoffs just that one year, but then after that they sucked. So if he was that good, man, he would at least like been to the championship. He would have possibly seen a Super Bowl, or at least had like a good team to at least try to make a Super Bowl appearance. But other than that, he's been a backup, man, and he's had a bad reputation around the league. That's why during this offseason, we had the chance to get him.
Yeah.
We had the chance to get him. He was available, and a lot of teams were like, nah. Even like going back with the Rams, when he was available still, when the Panthers got rid of him, nobody really needed him. The only reason the Rams got him and then they got rid of his ass because their starting quarterback was hurt. But other than that, Baker's not that guy. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a solid quarterback. But, man, he's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hear you. And you know what? All last week, what we were hearing from Nick Wright, he was talking about how the Prince, Trevor Lawrence, the #1 pick in the draft, he's going to outduel Brock Purdy, and look what happened. The last pick in the draft beat the first pick in the draft. Ironically, what's going to happen this week? The last pick in the draft is going to play the first pick in the draft, and I think Brock Purdy's going to do the same thing. And I'm tired though of hearing all this stuff like, oh, holding it against Brock Purdy because he has all these weapons. Like, dude, you can't hold that against anybody. Who held that against Joe Montana when he had Jerry Rice and John Taylor and all those guys? Even with Tom Brady when he had like Randy Moss and everybody out there, Gronk and everybody. Like, no one held that against him. So I'm just tired of that. And honestly, I just think what the thing is with Brock Purdy, he's such a smart dude.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude on the field, off the field. He's not a guy that, like, I don't want to sound messed up like Baker Mayfield that's going to be drunk at 12 at night running away from the cops and getting tackled. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he tried to run away and then he got tackled and made him like
exactly.
2 steps and then
Exactly, man. So he's just a smart quarterback, and I'm just tired of that narrative, but it's going to keep happening until he probably wins a Super Bowl. But that's fine, man. I just feel that personally myself, I'd rather have Brock Purdy than Baker Mayfield. Like, there's no question about it. I know there's guys in the media there like Dan Orlovsky said, what do you say about, well, we won't miss a beat with Sam Darnold, or if we had anybody, worrying about Baker Mayfield from Nick Wright. So I just don't agree with that, man. I'm happy, I'm blessed that we have Brock Purdy as our quarterback, because I think he's a stud, man. I really do. Number 1 in QBR, number 1 in passing completions. He's number 1 in so many different categories. So I think it's great. And the thing about it is, you got to look at Baker Mayfield. One thing he does have that other people don't realize, he has a pretty solid offensive line, man. They're like top, I think 15. 49ers have one of the worst damn offensive lines in the NFL as far as pass protection. We're ranked number 26 right now, and I've seen it all year long. From the center, right guard, tackle, from the right side on, we suck, man. Let's just be real. Brendel to your boy, whatever, and then Tim, 3 guys, and I just feel that we're gonna. I don't know. We got to do something, man. We got to do something. What else? That's pretty much it?
That's pretty much it.
All right, man. But that's what we got. Let us know what you think. Talk to you next time. Peace.